Hello everyone, I'm Wade. Did you know that worldwide, 1 in every 160 children have been identified with ASD, autism spectrum disorder, according to WHO? And in the US, the figures are 1 in every 54. The learning, thinking, and problem-solving abilities of people with ASD can range from gifted to severely challenged. This proves to be particularly hard on the parents. However, if the parents are willing to put in the extra effort to support and guide the child, they just might give them the chance to reach their full potential and become extraordinary. We can see an extreme example of this in the movie The Accountant, 会计师, where the immense pressure placed by the father of an autistic child allowed him to become an incredible forensic accountant with excellent fighting skills named Christian Wolff. The accountant is played by Ben Affleck. Christian Wolff is a man born with autism. At a young age, his parents took him to Harvard Neuroscience to seek ways to help Christian cope with his struggles. It is there he meets a girl named Justine who is also autistic. When Christian was experiencing a nervous breakdown due to missing the final piece of a puzzle, Justine helps him and comforts him. Christian's father was a military psychological operations serviceman who insisted on martial arts training for Christian and his little brother, Braxton, during their childhood. Meanwhile, their mother was overwhelmed by Christian's condition and chooses to abandon them instead.
Enough.
They're not done.
Tomorrow is another day. They have done their best.
If that were true, you'd be covered in blood and snot, not them. Keep going.
As time passed, Christian grew up to become an army officer, but lost touch with his brother Braxton. One day when he attended his estranged mother's funeral with his father, they were forced to leave, which caused a fight that led to the death of his father. Christian tried to help his father, but he got arrested and sentenced to jail. In jail, Christian shared a jail cell with Francis Silverberg, who taught him accounting. Francis was an accountant for several mafia families, but later became an informant for the FBI when he fled from the killing of one of the mafia families. Raymond King is an agent of the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. He was assigned to be the handler of Francis, but had failed to protect him once he was released from jail. So when Christian received word that Francis was tortured and killed, he sought revenge.
Stop it! Put the gun down! I'll fucking make it.
Ray was ready to retire, but on the day of his retirement, he receives a phone call from a mysterious lady. She informs Ray about a big smuggling case, which allowed him to follow the leads and crack the case. Thereafter, with her assistance, Ray cracked many more cases which helped him rise to the position of director. During this time, Ray noticed that in every case where the mystery lady shared information, it is related back to the accountant. As to the reason, he assumes that each case is when someone from the mafia family breaks the moral code of said accountant. 10 years later, Ray is ready to retire from his position as director. So before he does, he forces data analyst Mary Beth Medina to locate the accountant and find out who he really is.
For what it's worth, it's an alias.
The mystery lady who contacts Ray would appear to be working for Christian. Her code name for him? Dreamboat. She assigned him to investigate and audit Living Robotics Company after the founder and CEO Lamar Blackburn learns of a discrepancy through an in-house accountant, Dana Cummings. Overnight, Christian goes through 15 years' worth of files to find that over $61 million have been embezzled. The following day, he excitedly shares the news with Dana.
I went through these ledgers for months and I got through one fiscal year. You went through 15 overnight?
In her research, Medina comes across an audit lead that indicates the accountant is a man with autism. She makes this discovery by isolating the voice recording from the scene of the mafia killing, where she heard the killer repeating the nursery rhyme Solemn Grundy. Such vocal cadence is reminiscent of those that are autistic. Medina also finds that the aliases Christian used are famed mathematicians, including his current identity, Christian Wolff. Using the records of Internal Revenue Services, she finds Christian's office located at a small mall in Illinois. Medina shares her findings with Ray and explains to him that Christian uses other small firms within the same mall to launder his money. Interestingly, one of which is a laundromat that made an annual revenue of $505,909 the year before, which is absolutely ludicrous.
Easy.
I mean, he doesn't care about the traffic, it's a front.
So, Medina looks into the generous donation to check its validity. For a small and not so obvious accountant office to generate $1 million in charitable donations is certainly out of the ordinary. Ray later states his intentions for Medina to become his successor and future liaison to the mystery lady. She struggles with the thought at first, but later gives in to the idea for the greater good. In the end, when a couple brings their autistic child to the Harbor Neuroscience Center for help, it is revealed that Justine, Christian's fellow autistic childhood friend, is in fact the mystery lady now working alongside assisting Christian with his missions, as she did when they were young.
Why, is that a good computer? Good. Doc, she could backdoor the Pentagon with that rig.
Hello, Dreamboat. Shall we chat?
The real name of Christian Wolff remains a mystery in the end, but his name is less important than what he represents, and that is someone who struggles with a disorder but is able to overcome the challenges and utilize his extraordinary abilities to fight for the good of others. We also learn that you should never underestimate or look down on anyone, not even a person with ASD, because all humans are capable of being extraordinary. Extraordinary or extraordinary, do they have the same meaning, Ruby?
Actually, they mean the exact opposite. When you first see it, it might feel like they are the same.
Exactly. They have the exact same spelling with just a tiny space that differentiates them. So what's the difference?
Well, let's break down the word. Ordinary basically means normal with no special features, 非常平凡. And extra means more. So when you put them together with space in between, it means more ordinary. But without, extraordinary describes something unusual and remarkable.
So what makes a person extraordinary?
You can consider someone that's the best at what he or she does as extraordinary.
Or maybe someone that goes above and beyond?
Well, not necessarily just at work though. For example, a friend who goes the extra mile to help you when you are in need can also be seen as extraordinary.
So like me, I help you all the time.
Yeah, you're definitely extraordinary. Anyways, like what you said earlier, when a person reaches his or her full potential, they can become extraordinary.
Indeed. I believe we all have the potential to achieve greatness and become extraordinary in our own ways. Well, I'm Wade.
I'm Ruby.
I hope you have learned something useful in this episode of Cinephile as I did. You can find more on the Fun Day website.
Let's make every day a fun day.
So I studied accounting at the University of Chicago, where fun goes to die.
Why?
Why what?
Why does fun go to die at the University of Chicago?
No, it's just an expression.
I'm joking.